A cold breeze swept through the streets of Toronto as neon lights flickered against the damp pavement. The city was alive with movement, cars rushing by, pedestrians bundled in coats, and the faint sound of street music weaving through the urban noise. On a dimly lit sidewalk, a young musician sat with his worn-out guitar, strumming a soft melody. His fingers, stiff from the cold, moved with precision, pouring raw emotion into every note. His open guitar case contained only a few scattered coins and a couple of dollar bills. Despite the lack of attention from passers-by, he played on, lost in his music. Among the fast-moving crowd, a hooded figure stopped a few feet away. Dressed in a black hoodie and cap, his face was partially shadowed, blending into the background. The musician, absorbed in his performance, barely noticed him. But unlike the others, this man wasn't just passing by. He was listening. The figure nodded slightly, tapping his foot in rhythm with the melody. A faint smile appeared on his face. The song ended, and the musician let out a breath, preparing for the usual silence that followed. But instead of indifference, he heard applause. Looking up, his breath caught in his throat. The man clapping in front of him was Drake. Heart pounding, the musician blinked rapidly, making sure he wasn't imagining it. But no, Drake was right there, smiling. Drake crouched down, resting his arms on his knees. "Yo, that was fire, man. What's your name?" The musician stammered, barely able to process what was happening. I'm Jake," he finally managed. Drake nodded, his eyes still on the guitar. "You wrote that?" Jake swallowed hard and nodded. "Yeah, just trying to get my music out there." Drake smirked, picking up the guitar. "Mind if I borrow this for a sec?" Drake strummed a few chords, adjusting the sound. Then, without hesitation, he started freestyling over the melody. His voice carried through the night, turning the quiet sidewalk into an impromptu stage. Jake, still in shock, hesitated for a moment before joining in. Their voices blended effortlessly, drawing a small crowd around them. People pulled out their phones, recording in disbelief as a random street performance turned into a once-in-a-lifetime duet. As the song ended, the crowd cheered loudly. Drake handed the guitar back to Jake, giving him an approving nod. "That was dope, man," Drake said, reaching into his pocket and pulling out his phone. "What's your Instagram?" Jake, hands shaking, unlocked his phone and handed it over. Drake followed him instantly. "I'll DM you. Keep grinding, bro." Jake couldn't believe what was happening. Drake, one of the biggest artists in the world, had just recognized his talent. As Drake turned to leave, he paused, reached into his jacket pocket, and pulled out a thick stack of cash. He bent down, placing it in Jake's guitar case. Jake gasped. What? No, I can't." Drake grinned. "Keep doing what you're doing. This is just the beginning." Tears welled in Jake's eyes as he stuttered out a heartfelt, "Thank you." As Drake disappeared into the city, Jake stood frozen, guitar still in his lap. He looked at the money, then at the crowd, then at his phone, Drake's follow notification still on the screen. Everything had changed. He wiped his eyes and let out a shaky breath, then strummed his guitar again. This was just the beginning. And that's how a simple moment turned into something life-changing. Drake saw potential where others might not have looked, and in that moment, he gave a young artist more than just advice. He gave him belief. What do you think? If you were in Drake's shoes, would you have done the same? Or if you were the young artist, how would you have reacted? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another incredible story. More inspiring moments are coming your way. Stay tuned.